Are there any particular problems on the board that stand out to you as meaningful? Like something you either projected for a long time or were big personal breakthroughs? What is the equivalent on the moon board of, you sending realization or something? Or like, the big, like what's your big board moment? Like,
Oh
or
yeah.
what's your dawn wall on the moon board?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, like so real quick, I remember Jonathan and I like this, I think it was right after he did Jumbo Love. We were training on the board, and he was like, this thing helped me a lot. And I kind of laughed because I was like, wait, really? Like he's like, no, no, it was good. It helped me like it's like a bunch of moon boards in a row. And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. That it would help you on such a long, intense sport climb. But yeah, there are huge moments for me. Project 2 set by Alex Migos, and then
It's just called Project Two.
I know it's like it's like such a throwaway name for him, but for me it like took like a year and a half and like hundreds of tries, and it was like so specific and really rewarding obviously when you do it, and satisfying. But and then Black Beauty, Daniel Woods, both huge. Amazing boulders. There's actually a kind of a similar V10 boulder by Hosiak Lee, Mad About You, on the 2016 set, which is kind of like it leads into Black Beauty. It has like a similar move, like difficult power move off that I9, that black I9 undercling on the 2016 set. So that was a big moment as well when I realized that I could do a powerful move off that undercling, because I think like it's something like 1 in 10 boulders benchmarks over V9 on the 2016 set have that I9 undercling. So once I felt like pretty, like I was able to like really master that hold, I was like, oh, cool. This is a big breakthrough. I think I can do Black Beauty. I think I can reach this. I think it's like the E14 vertical, like black pinch. And so when I was finally like sticking that, touching it, actually engaging it, huge moment. So and I mean, you can kind of see like some of these breakthroughs are like just getting the moves. It's not the send. It's like, oh, I can pull off of this undercling. This is like a huge moment, and I think those are really satisfying moments on the board.
Yeah, so a, I don't even know how to phrase this question, but I have sort of a personal theory that climbers can be broken into groups of people who love that aspect of progress, like maximal effort, maximum moves. Like, when you're describing the satisfaction of touching a hold for the first time or engaging a hold for the first time, I'm I can see how that's satisfying, but that just isn't quite what motivates me in climbing. It's like for me, I just need bigger periods of flow or something, like big adventures, like rambling through the woods, just kind of like a little more than that. And I feel like that might be a fundamental like divide in climbers, because there are a lot of climbers who are totally satisfied with like max effort like that. In fact, I mean, Steven, do you know Steven who's staying at our house? He's been climbing to Potosi all the time. He-Man. Have you met that guy?
Yeah, He-Man.
Yeah.
I know of him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's legendary. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so He-Man is totally happy to spend an entire session working one move. And he's like, I tried really hard. It was a good move. And I'm like, what the heck? Like that is just not like I just can't get motivated. And obviously that is a great way to build power. It's a great way to like build strength. It'll make you a stronger climber in a lot of ways, but it's just so hard to be motivated by that. It's like how do you well, and actually, and I think this is, I was about to ask, how do you find motivation in that? But I think that that's not even a fair question, because some people just do find motivation through that. And that kind of draws them to the board more, draws them to sort of like max bouldering and stuff like that. And I mean, that's why I've always been into soloing 5/8, because it's like, oh, you get to go out and like have an experience for a couple hours, as opposed to like I touched the hold once. I don't know. I mean, like okay, I guess here's the question: is have you always been motivated by that level of progress, or is that something that you found through time on the board?
So I've always been interested in like in movement, in pushing to see like what type of movement or what I can accomplish, difficulty wise, or really digging into like, oh, my pinky needs to be here or this and that, like it's exactly what you said. Like I like the minutia of it. But it's something that gets amplified once, I'm on the board, and I'm maybe talking or sending messages to other people who have done a climb or set a climb that I can't do, or, I want to try. And all of this, like all of this additional communication that I feed off of for, if I'm messaging like Ben Burkhalter about how he did, where exactly he put his like right foot when he did project 2, and like, oh, it was like at the crease of the kickboard where the kickboard meets the 40, and he's like, yeah, I had to like wear this special shoe. And it's just like that stuff is really fun to me, and interesting. Or, oh, I had to like, I made sure that I like, brush the hold like really well, or like use like rubbing alcohol to like get all the grease and like whatever off, or like, used a fresh hold for this move. So that stuff has been really fun to me, and it builds these like personal connections, which I'm into. I'm not really into like the surface level of just like going, climbing on the board and then being out. Like what keeps me motivated, what keeps me going is that personal connection with people in the community that are active, setting, motivated. If I get a message from someone who's like, hey, I just set my very first board problem, would you want to try it or something? I'm like, oh, that makes my day. I'm excited. Heck yeah, I want to try it. Like, let's go. Because it's showing me that they're getting some buy-in into the process, into the board. Maybe they're like going to college or living somewhere that's like not near climbing, but they have the board and they can connect, and reach out, and they don't really have anyone else that is going to try their problem or something like that. Like that's what keeps me motivated in my own climbing, and to keep giving to the community.
Yeah. So when you talk about the board community, I mean, how do you actually message with all these people? Can you message through the Moonboard app, or people are texting, or people reaching out on Instagram? Like what
Yeah.
like how do you actually, and how many folks are you communicating with? Like how many other setters do you routinely text with? And like what is the Moonboard community?
Yeah, I mean, typically through Instagram, or if it's like someone I'm closer with, like in the Vegas community, or just like that I've known a long time climbing, like texting, Sebastian and I have been like trading stuff over, WhatsApp, like, oh, I set this, and and actually I won't name names, but like I was talking to someone here in Vegas, and talking about like setting and this and that. And, they climb on the board all the time. So I was like, oh, cool. Do you have any sets? Like anything that you've said? They climb on the board all the time. Like, no, I haven't said anything. I'm like, well, that's got to change. Like you're on it all the time. You know it really well. Like we need you to contribute, and then he ended up sending something. And I was like, it's really good. Like keep going. But to answer your question, it's primarily over Instagram. And yeah, people will just send me things, or I'll send things, or I'll just push out things that I've set. But I'm always happy to take a look at, some people are just, you know, just have wild strength. And I think he's in Singapore. There's a kid, he goes by Vin, and he just has like insane power and reach. He'll send me stuff that's like 7C plus 8A, and I'm like, dude, this is like V14. This is really tough, but it's awesome to see. And I think that keeps me going as well. If I'm stuck on some benchmark that I've been trying and training for, and then I get an influx of problems at whatever grade, then it's cool to, I have like a little like playlist, so to speak, on the app. Like I'll keep for, someone sends me something like, oh, I think this is cool, check it out, I'll add it, so I can go through those on days where I'm not feeling like I need, or like I can really max effort.